Okay, so first of all, before we get into this video, I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe. It's good for the algo, and if you subscribe, of course, you're going to be notified of any future content that I make. I don't just live stream, I also post videos. So, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, hit the notification bell so you are notified when new content is posted, and leave a comment in any content of mine you watch. It's good for the algorithm. So here we have a video from Cosmic First titled Modern Women Attacking Men for Going Their Own Way. Of course, he should call it Modern Western Women because not all women are like this, just Western ones generally speaking. So let's get into this vid.
Kindly subscribe to the channel,
yes,
as it is our sole form of support. Thank you.
Yes.
So, a hyena asked me, "Girl, if you think we are the hyenas in the Western world, what do you call those passport bros, huh?"
They're smart. They're getting out, huh? They're the birds that are flying south for the winter, except they're not coming back because they know that the winter that they are going to have to endure if they stay where they are is going to last for another century.
Well, obviously, they are the victims of the hyenas.
You know, you leveled up when you used to be with a man that made you pay half on Plan Bs, and now you're with a man that just pays for it fully. Period. Girl breakfast. And imagine.
Plan B. You mean like abortion pill? Lovely. We got a Satan worshiper witch here. Great. Killing her child.
This is my... It's pink, because I'm just a girl. Everything pink.
You're a devil.
Need help.
Men saying, I've just decided altogether to avoid women. That it's better to be single, guys. They're almost like happy about the fact that...
Yeah, women are not choosing to be single. Women are not single by choice, okay? Only men, because we are the only ones that can initiate a relationship and choose for there to be commitment and any kind of connection or bond with someone else. Women don't get to choose that. We choose that. They control access to us, but we control access to relationships. So women are never single by choice. Give me a break.
That they're gonna make the choice to avoid the entire gender of women because they have yet to actually resolve the war they have within themselves.
No, we avoid you because you're too much trouble and you're going to meet to us and you're going to send us to jail so you can do some high fives with your bitter, lonely, angry, sad, on SSRI girlfriends and pat each other on the back and say, "You go, girl." That's why we're avoiding you.
It is not because they're fighting a war within themselves. It is.
Yeah, it's because they're fighting a war with women. Well, actually, it's women who are fighting a war with them, and men are just tired of the fighting. We want peace, but you ladies don't want peace. You constantly invade our spaces. You invade our workplaces. You invade our lives, and you try to create drama and gin up chaos because you're bored, because you got nothing going on in your life. You got no kids. You got no meaning. You got no family. You got nothing in your life of any value. So you try to distract yourself with all this drama and embracing of materialism and just creating trouble. And we say enough, and we're just not going to participate in this war that you constantly want to fight with us.
It's because they found peace with themselves. And she was so close. She was just so
Well, they found peace because they kicked the women out of their lives.
close to getting there, because at least she's recognizing what men are saying. Because they're tired of the complaining, the double standards, the expectations, and the risk of losing everything that they've built. There is no unresolved internal war going on in these men. He just found peace and contentment on his own instead of using that energy and effort on someone else.
I lost everything to the woman I trusted and was always faithful to. I'll never let anyone have that kind of power over me again. Haven't dated in 14 years. I will never marry. I adopted children. I have money. I have horses. I have peace. I have...
Wow, he adopted kids. Yeah. So, unfortunately, that's an option that's out for most men because you got to have a bunch of money if you want to adopt a kid. If you want to adopt a white kid, ooh, it's going to cost you 6 figures. Even if you want to adopt an Asian kid, you're looking at a boatload of cash. Unfortunately, we men don't have that option available unless we're in the top 10, 20%. And even then, it's not so easy because women get first dibs, baby, on the babies.
Peace. I have peace. It is definitely better and safer. There is no war within ourselves. I haven't had an argument in 2 years. Personal best for me. I have more money than I've ever had, and I can do what I want with no consequences. For some men, it's really the trauma that comes with it all. The constant feeling of not being enough, not doing enough, or never being appreciated the way they need to be.
So the problem with that is that materialism and, a love and desire for base things, it doesn't fill you. So it's never going to be enough. Money will never be enough, cars will never be enough, things will never be enough, because that gaping chasm, that abyss that women have within themselves, because they've embraced materialism and rejected things that have meaning, such as family, children, submissiveness to her husband, appreciating that family and making that the center of her life, and that the focus of her value instead of material things. She's never going to be happy. You'll never be able to provide enough, so those women are always going to leave you in search of something else because they feel unfulfilled. And they don't realize that you'll never get fulfillment from things.
It's the emotional exhaustion that builds up over time, from always being the one to sacrifice, to provide, to support, while receiving little to no reciprocity in return. Many men are tired of always being selfless, putting their woman first and making her needs the priority, only to be met with indifference, or worse, being taken for granted. It's not just about feeling unappreciated.
If you've been wondering where are all the good men, I actually have some homework for you. Start to find and pay attention to the qualities that you love in the men who are around you. The men you know, the men you don't know, the guy at the grocery store who asks to help carry your stuff out to your car. Because when you say...
Right, because what he can do for you is what's most important. She's got it all wrong, by the way.
Where are all the good men? I already know that you are in a pattern of looking for negative qualities in men. And you're finding them. So start looking for the good men and you will find them.
Well, what do you define as good? So this is the problem, another mistake that women make. You should be looking for in others the qualities that are best about yourself and the things that you appreciate and value. So you can't start by looking at others and saying, I'm looking for good qualities I appreciate, because generally speaking, that's going to just be things that they can do for you to make your life easier and better. So that's just another form of materialism. No, you have to start with self. What are my virtues? What are my values? If you don't know what those are, you need to do some heavy reflection and figure that out. And if you can't find any, you're going to have to build some up. You're going to have to create some, and that requires change. And if you're trying to do that when you're 25, probably too late. You're fully cooked. People don't change, so you're screwed.
When I do choose to go on a date, I want you to feed.
At least when it comes to women. Men, generally speaking, have virtues and values. They have no choice. Nobody is going to come save them. Okay?
Me. I don't want to just go for drinks, and I feel like a lot of people will say like a coffee date or like let's just go for drinks.
Yeah, why
or like
not?
see if we vibe and then let's do dinner the next time. I see that as like you're cheap.
What?
No. Let's go.
No, you're valuing the wrong things. I'm not cheap. I'm just focused on the things that actually matter, like whether or not we're compatible. Not what you're focused on, which is whether or not I have a lot of money.
For dinner, let me see the way you order. Let's see your mannerisms. Let's see the vibes. You're gonna order 1 dessert or 2 desserts. Let's see how
Vibes. Run away from women that say vibes.
generous you are. And
Generous. How much money you spend on me?
I don't know. Like I feel like already when you're going
Because I'm a hooker.
on a date, you're taking a risk. So like if you're not willing to like take the risk and feed me, and you're
What
only
risk?
like down to take me for drinks,
What risk are you taking?
I find that weird. Like I'm not into that.
Dating to these women is like an experiment. Sometimes they really forget why they're there. What's the issue with going for drinks to see if there's a connection? And going on dates 2 or 3 times a week cost money, It doesn't matter if you're a six-figure earner or not. What's worse, when you go on these dates, she's just expecting to come and eat, not contribute anything. Whenever a woman say, "Come show me how generous you are," she's gauging her interest by how much you spend on the date.
It's not just gauging interest. She wants to see how much of a sucker you are and how much she can manipulate you into spending.
These types aren't looking for something serious. It's just a free meal ticket to them.
Okay, so we've all heard of passport bros at this point, right? I think it's time we start passport sisters. And like, hear me out. Please repost this, share this, whatever. I think women should start leaving. Like, if men really don't want us that bad out here, like, it's pretty bad. Have you looked at any of the posts? Like,
my dating experience.
Yeah, but sweetheart, you're gonna have to go to like someplace like Ghana or Zimbabwe or something, and those dudes are gonna need to mooch off you, and they're gonna need your money, and they're gonna need your resources, and they're basically you're gonna be the provider, and you're gonna be the protector in the relationship. So you're not gonna get what you want either way.
Korea hasn't been so great, and I learned kind of the hard way. Korean people don't really like black women so much.
Well, you a big girl, sweetheart, so that might have something to do with it. Have you seen how petite most South Korean chicks are?
So I've tried to use a lot of Korean dating apps, and I used a lot of American dating apps, Bumble, Hinge, Tinder, etc., etc. And usually Korean people, if I use a Korean app, I get a lot of negative responses, and Korean people have told me I shouldn't be on the app, and they're not looking for people my color, things like that.
What? Yeah, nobody believes that. They're not looking for somebody your size. Okay? You're a big girl. It's not your bones. You're overweight, and you're unattractive. I guarantee you, if you were a good-looking broad who took care of herself, there would be Korean men that are interested, okay? Because they're having a heck of a hard time getting the interest and getting South Korean chicks to lower their standards. Doesn't South Korea have like the lowest replacement birth rate on planet Earth? You want to talk about high standards? So if you weren't such a large and in-charge broad, you might have more luck. So that's just pure cope on her part.
Why is it that Italians hate blacks? Like, some of Italians hate blacks. They don't like blacks. Can that be true? I don't get it. Like, they don't like blacks. Almost 15 years in this country, I would say I have a little bit of experience. You know, I know what I am really saying. Why some Italians?
Look at the hands. How explicit the hands are. Whenever I see that, it screams a masculine chick.
Italians don't like we foreigners. Can that be true? Yes, that can be true. They don't like blacks. Not all of them.
Nope.
Don't get me wrong.
This is just cope. Oh, it's my race. No, you're an in-charge, big mouth, opinionated broad with an attitude. That's the problem.
Some of them love blacks. They love us. Why most of them? They don't want to see us.
Maybe that's your experience, but not ours. Passport bros.
I don't know why they always think they can compete, but it just doesn't work that way. Passport brothers exist for a reason. Men want traditional wives who bring peace, respect, and partnership into the relationship. The passport cis movement, on the other hand, exists because these women feel like they have something to prove.
Is that really a thing, though? Passport cisses? I don't know. By the way, going to countries where the majority of men are traditional and you're an effing, ist broad, it's not going to work out well for you.
Trying to show they can do what men do, as if it's some kind of competition.
Of course.
But the reality is, we are not the same.
No.
Men and women look for different things in relationships.
That's part of why these broads are single, too. They're trying to compete with men. That's part of what feminism is about.
And if women actually listened to men and understood what they truly want, men wouldn't feel the need to fly out to other countries to find wives. There are many factors as to why men are leaving, but some of the biggest reasons boil down to delusional expectations and
Yeah, she's not a bad-looking broad, and yet she can't find a dude.
extremely high demands. A lot of these women have a list of requirements: financial stability, emotional support, a luxury lifestyle. But they can't provide those same things for themselves. They expect a man to be the full package, but they don't hold themselves to the same standard. It's the entitlement that drives men away, no thank you.
Look at this article I found today. The dangerous rise of men who won't date woke women.
What is this new... I'm sorry, I got to comment on this. She's wearing glass frames with no glasses. It's just a fashion accessory. Since when did wearing glasses with no lenses, so it's just like an accoutrement, like jewelry, become a thing? And look at the nose ring. That's hideous. Diamond-studded nose ring. And the hair. Like the Max Kool-Aid color. Oh my God.
Pathetic. I know you probably can't tell, but I'm quite woke and very alert to social injustice.
No, we can tell. You're alert to social injustice, huh?
Woke discrimination in dating should not be tolerated.
Yeah, so let's socialize everything and put everything in the hands of a centralized authority, and that centralized authority will force us men to date and bang you. Okay. Would you want a man that's forced to be with you, sweetheart? I guess so.
Also, who wouldn't want this? I mean, look at these bangs. They're perfect. Come to think of it, I've been single for the past 10 years, ever since I started free bleeding in women's marches.
This is a troll. Okay, she's trolling. All right.
But what kind of man doesn't love that level of confidence? I don't even have that many dating requirements. I mean, he has to be a vegan, obviously, and he must have his pronouns in his bio. He must provide proof of vaccine and all his boosters, and he must wear an N95 mask or equivalent during sex, but forget about condoms because that's what abortion healthcare is for. He needs to be okay with the fact that I don't shave any body hair, but he has to be perfectly manscaped with the body of Chris Hemsworth. He also must be okay with the fact that I wear natural deodorant. It doesn't really work, but at least I don't have aluminum seeping into my skin. And last but not least, he must not like video games or sports. So I don't really know what the problem is. I'm a total catch. Did you ever think that maybe it's your attitude? Or maybe it's your irrational list of standards?
Oh, is that her without all the makeup and the weird hair? She's not a bad looking bro.
What do you mean, attitude? Also, I don't have to lower my standards for any man or anyone.
This right here is a perfect representation, and men can definitely spot these types of women from miles away.
That's the good thing, and we should thank them for that. They actually wear signifiers to tell you what they are. The nose ring automatically tells you you're dealing with a rabid, effing, ist broad, and that you need to run away. So does the Kool-Aid colored hair and any visible tattoos. Well, those are red flags as well.
They have this energy that just screams trouble, insufferable, entitled, and very hard to deal with. It's like every conversation or interaction is a battle, and no man with any self-respect or standards would willingly put himself through that kind of hell. Dealing with these woke women feels more like a chore than a relationship, constantly tiptoeing around their opinions and inflated sense of self-importance.
Yeah, guys, by the way, I hate to keep interrupting, but it's important for me to say this. If you are having a difficult time getting along with a woman, if you're constantly having to compromise, if it's difficult to get along, if she's disagreeing a lot, if you're always having points of contention, you shouldn't be with them. It's supposed to be easy, okay? If you meet the right person, if you find the right person, if you base your relationship on virtues and values, there's going to be virtually no need to compromise because you're both compatible. Keep that in mind.
It's exhausting because they often come with an air of superiority, thinking they're more enlightened or evolved, when in reality they're just difficult.
There's a reason that men make fun of single women.
And what reason would that be?
Whether it be a single mom or someone who's just chosen to never marry, and it's because they feel threatened.
Somehow I doubt that.
The more women who take that route, the less women there will be available to them, and they're afraid of other women looking at those women who are single and being like, oh, like she's actually pretty happy and satisfied, and then following suit.
That's an interesting theory. I'll give one that.
So they make fun of them and try to paint them in a bad light so that doesn't happen.
That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
And the reason men want a larger dating pool is not because they actually like women and want to find like their soulmate or someone they love they want to share their life with.
Oh, okay. So what is the reason?
They're afraid of being alone. Well, they are afraid of being alone.
Some perhaps, but a large amount of men are actually perfectly happy being single.
But it's because they don't know how to do things for themselves. They want a wife because they want someone to cook and clean for them and take care of everything and basically be their mother who they can also sleep with.
That's actually not what most men want, but...
Couldn't I make the same argument and flip the script and say that you want a man because you want somebody to take care of you and pay your bills and provide for you?
By all means, go on with that narrative.
Nothing makes a man angrier than seeing an older woman who is single and happy. Before men come in my comments like, I am married. I am married to a man. But if you don't want to be alone forever, you're just going to have to step up. Because women are finally standing up for themselves and asking for more. And that more is what they've always deserved.
She got a lot of filters, by the way.
There are some men out there that do seem to enjoy making fun of women that are single. However, whether right or wrong, a lot of those women tend to make it a little bit too easy to do. But I digress. But do bear in mind that there are quite a few men out there that are actually choosing the peace of being single for a lot of the same reasons that women are. But I guess if one is going to worry about men making fun of women that are going to remain single, then I suppose one should keep that same energy for women that make fun of men.
By the way, I disagree with that. I think women are not choosing to be single. I think women don't have a choice. I think enough men are waking up and getting turned on to aware of what a bad deal it is that the women have no choice. They're not single by choice.
We're doing the very same thing.
I've been single for a decade, worked on myself, and if this woman is what's out there, I'll stay single. That's the kind of theory that only comes with someone who sees connecting with others as a game you're supposed to win. Peace and quiet in your circle is the most important part of a man's life, and women think that they own that peace and quiet that you have. I'm 35, I was married and was so unhappy. Now I'm divorced and single again. I'm happy. Everyone deserves love though. I've never known any man that this woman is describing, but the theory she came up with is pretty funny though. It's ironic, especially because there are plenty of women who claim to be happily single, yet are still out here seeking men. It really begs the question, if you're truly happier without men, why are you still looking for one?
That's just bitterness when they say that. They're just saying what we say. We're actually happy being single, and they are angry that we don't want them, and they see our happiness, and they want it, but they can't get it, but they pretend, they say they're just as happy as we are. It's all cope, right?
It's contradictory. If being single is so fulfilling, shouldn't they be content with that life instead of constantly searching for a relationship?
Right, you don't see us men all over TikTok talking about where to meet the broads, where to meet the broads. Let's go here, let's go there. Let's be as inventive as humanly possible. This is where the good women are. That's where the good women are. No, men ain't doing that. Where are we doing that? But women, these videos are all over the place.
The truth is, a lot of these women might say they're happy being single, but deep down, many of them still crave companionship, validation, and emotional support that only a partner can provide. It's almost like they're trying to convince themselves, or maybe others, that they don't need men, but their actions tell a different story. The reality is, many of them are still dating, still going out, still looking for someone to fill that void they won't admit exists.
So if you ask 100% of women what they want in a guy, they list 20% of men, sometimes less. So if you want a guy that's over 6 foot, that's only 15% of guys. You want him to be good looking, cut it in half. You want him to make money, cut that in half.
Can we talk about how hard it is to leave the good guy? When you say, I want a divorce, and he's like, no, I want to work this out, everything's gonna be fine. You know, we can get through this, and he's so encouraging, and everything's just so fucking peachy keen, right? We talk about how I'm manipulated into staying because he's a good guy. He does nothing wrong. Like, the only thing he's guilty of is being lazy and, you know, not putting in effort like we did when we were in the beginning of our relationship, like any other marriage. He doesn't beat me.
You mean he works a lot, takes care of you because he has to provide for you and some kids. So that's him being lazy. Couldn't be you just being entitled. Nah, and not appreciating what he puts into the relationship. Couldn't be that.
He doesn't do anything. He doesn't take money from me, but he downplays my emotions. I don't think he fully understands me. And we've talked about this, y'all. This has all been in counseling, but how do you leave the good guy? I'm having like an internal battle right now because like I want to leave. I want to file divorce papers and I want to freaking run to Maine or something. I mean, am I the crazy one? Am I the crazy one? Because I keep throwing these fits and fighting with him.
Yes. Downplays your emotions. So she admits he's great. He's manipulating me to stay because he's too good. But I can find flaws, I can find fault, because if you look hard enough, you can find flaws and fault and problems in anything, no matter how good it is. So she just wants to get out. She's looking for an excuse. She's looking for a reason, a justification. She's trying to justify leaving, even though deep down she knows it's really, really good. But she somehow thinks she's going to do better. So she's missing the butterfly. She's missing the fields. She thinks there's greener grass somewhere else. Not with the way you look, sweetheart. Okay, you got a mom bod. Good luck.
I look legit crazy because I literally stay in bed all day. A lot of that is because if I don't stay in bed all day, I will nitpick him. And I didn't.
So he's lazy. He's not doing everything he needs to do, but you're laying in bed all day while he's going out and working and supporting you. I see. Yeah.
I didn't start doing this until like last year. Like I don't, because I'm so unhappy with myself that I will nitpick him and tear him apart. So if I stay.
So you're actually the problem, but you're still blaming him. Okay. Yeah, wherever you go, honey, there you are.
In bed, I won't be mean. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. But I'm only sharing this because I swear to God I promise transparency. And I swear to God I promise the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I am struggling today. But this has been an ongoing struggle for the past like 6 months of my marriage. And I've said it here and there in videos, but I've never gotten this raw. I'm tired of marriage counseling. I'm tired of trying. I'm ready to leave. I'm ready for a divorce. I'm exhausted. I'm mentally at my capacity. I feel like I'm stretched thin. I feel like I can't describe it. But I am not okay today.
Yeah, by the way, if you have to go to marriage counseling, the marriage is over. Get out. And this guy needs to leave her. All her problems are self-created. She's the problem. If she just appreciated what she had and focused on the good instead of focusing on the bad so she could create some drama and some chaos, she'd be peachy keen. But she doesn't appreciate what she has. She doesn't find meaning in what she has because she doesn't appreciate it. She cares about the wrong things, so she's not getting the fulfillment that she would get if she was focusing on the things that brought meaning to her life. So now she's searching for and trying to create problems in her life because really her life is too easy. And what happens when people's lives are too easy? They create chaos, they create drama, they create problems that they then have to solve.
Manipulated into staying, proceeds to explain that he's done nothing wrong. Leave so another woman can be blessed. My mum did this. My dad was a good guy, busy providing and supporting the family. She did nothing. She broke the family apart and
by the way, this woman is clearly not involved and engaged with her family, because if she was, there would be problems, there would be issues, there would be things that would be popping up, problems that needed solving on a consistent basis. That would give her what she needed. But she's clearly not engaged with her family. She's laying in bed all day. She's wondering why she's creating issues that she then has to solve.
Moved away. She regrets that 10 years later she has nothing. She literally said that this man is a good man and great guy. How are all the women in the comments still blaming him? Crazy. The amount of men that feel like this, but stay regardless, and women who leave as soon as they don't feel happy, is insane. That man isn't lazy at all. It's just difficult to show effort to someone who only cares about themselves and doesn't reciprocate. No one wants to keep putting in energy when it's constantly one-sided.
Yeah, and she's constantly complaining and blaming him. So, that disincentivizes him from really putting much effort into making this relationship work. He's not getting anything out of it. In fact, he's getting lambasted by her for his efforts.
At At this point, the woman just needs to leave and let that man find a good woman who will truly appreciate him. It's frustrating to watch, because I don't understand this mindset some of these women have. Why leave the good guy if he's supposedly a good guy? Isn't that exactly what they said they wanted? It's almost like they don't even know what they truly want, or maybe they thought they did, until they realized it required effort on their part as well. The truth is, it often seems less about the man and more about their own internal issues.
Well, they get into these relationships and then they don't put the effort in. Or they don't know where to put their effort. They don't know how to be with somebody else. They think it's supposed to be some kind of a Disney fairy tale, a mumbo-jumbo nonsense that requires no effort, no communication, no give and take. They don't know how to be in a relationship with somebody else. It actually takes some knowledge and some skill and some real mindfulness, thoughtfulness. It's not just, okay, I exist, so it should work.
She should have started the video with, "I'm just so unhappy with myself," because that's what it feels like. It's not that the guy isn't good enough. It's that she's projecting her own dissatisfaction onto him, blaming him for problems that are rooted in her own unhappiness. Instead of working on herself, she's pushing away the one person who actually values her. It's self-sabotage at its finest, and unfortunately, the good guy gets caught in the crossfire.
So this is the problem, really. Happiness doesn't come from other people. So nouns, a person, a place, a thing. Nouns, as I've always said, don't bring happiness. You have to be able to find happiness with yourself. And if you're asking, well, realist, why would you get into a relationship then with a woman if you aren't concerned about that bringing you happiness? No. There's also such a thing as purpose and having goals and knowing that you need things that you can pursue, and you need goals, and you need things that will drive you and give you ambition, and you need things to shoot for. You need direction in your life as well. But the happiness is ultimately your responsibility. So if you go into a relationship thinking that somebody else is going to fulfill you or bring you happiness, you're going to be like this woman, wondering, why am I not happy? I've been with this guy for 15 years. He seems perfect on the surface. Hell, he's perfect in practice as well, but for some reason I'm not happy. It's because you have the wrong mindset and you're approaching life in the wrong way. Life is a practice, just like anything else. It's an art. The way you go about approaching it, there is a right way and a wrong way, and she's going about it in all the wrong way. Doesn't matter what she does, unless she changes her mindset and figures out that she has to find happiness within and does the hard work and the introspection to do so, no relationship is going to give her what she wants, because ultimately only she can do that and only you can do that. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to head out. Please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell if you like my content so you'll be notified. Leave a comment in the comment section. It's good for the algorithm. It gets me more views, and I usually respond to most comments because I get so few. It's very easy. And consider making a donation. You get the super chat, you get my GoFundMe and my Patreon. And on that note, I'm out of here. I am the Realist Philosopher, also known as the Bachelor Philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. Take care.